Let's talk about starting a business with ADHD. The best analogy that I can give you of this is it's kind of like watching Shaq play basketball. Now, if you focused on his weaknesses and you just put him out there to shoot threes and free throws, he would probably be the worst player to ever play in the association. But when he has a good coach that knows what his strengths are and puts him in the post, he's this dominating force, which is one of the best basketball players to ever play the game. With ADHD, it's very similar if you're looking at starting a business because your strengths and weaknesses are very polarizing because your weaknesses will be very weak. A lot of times that's executive functioning. It may be things that relate to imposter syndrome, which makes it hard to get started because perhaps you're anticipating rejection, which is also common for people with ADHD. But on the strength side, you may have high creative problem solving. Vision is very easy for you. You can just imagine what this business could look like 5 years down the road. Your ability to just have ambition and hustle and energy is very high, but it's about channeling those things to make it a success for you and your business. Now, you're watching this video, you may be coming at it from a lot of different places. Maybe you have ideas of what you want to do to start a business. Perhaps you're already started a business and you just feel like you don't quite have the grasp or the grip of it that you want to have for it. My recommendation for you is to find a coach. And no, this is not a pitch for you to hire me to be your coach because I don't provide those services right now. What I have found that works really well is actually creating an AI expert that is a coach for you. Here's an example of what that looks like for me. In my case, I use Gemini. You can use ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, but I have what I call Coach Bob. Now, I called it Coach Bob because I have a real life mentor who I respect a lot. He's in his 80s, actually. His name is Bob. He's helped me so much in my career. So that's why I call it that, to give it a little bit of personalization. But if you look on here, you can see that at one point, I said to Coach Bob, and I said, hey, I'm thinking about starting a new business, be a garbage can cleaning service to help me diversify my revenue streams. Is this a good fit for me? And what you'll see from my coach is that it'll actually dive into things based on things such as my vision, my strengths and weaknesses, my personal why. Then it goes into my core values and how there's a mismatch for this type of business. And then it talks about Tim Ferriss, Brene Brown, Gary Vee, some of my influencers that I like, what their perspective on the situation would be. And then it talks about a final verdict where it says that basically it thinks that you should pause on this one. And one of the best pieces of advice I got in here, it was when I was looking at this, it was talking about the fact of consistency. Let me see if I can find this. Yes, your weaknesses here of consistency. Basically, I struggle with routine and consistency because of my ADHD wiring. And what I find is I can easily start things, but it's hard to keep them going because I'm like, this is so boring and redundant. And when it said that this type of work is going to be boring and redundant, even if it's just managing people that are running it, I was like, you're right. Don't do it. An easy test to see if you may be an ADHD entrepreneur is you can just go to your GoDaddy or whatever online registrar you use and see what your order history looks like. Mine is 111 purchases over $2,700 for all domains. And when I look at those domains, there's even a certain section of it going back into 2012 where I started 4 different businesses in 8 weeks, and they ranged from developing a custom Facebook app to a consulting business to doing mobile optimized websites for wineries. Like, it was just a disaster. And this is really just looking at what a disaster it is when you're trying to start a business with ADHD without guardrails. So what I want to do is I want to take you through this simplified Notion document that I have here, which I'm calling ADHD Boss Mode, same name as the channel. And it's going to take you through why you should make an AI business coach, and then what tools you should use. How do you program your principles into it? So as I mentioned before, it's like looking at stuff such as your core values, your vision, your why, your strengths and weaknesses as an ADHD entrepreneur. And then what it does is it takes you through actually launching your business. So you can look at this and say, all right, which phase am I in? Am I still in the ideation and conceptualization phase? Have you researched and validated your idea? Then you get into branding, identity, planning, and foundation, and launching and iterating. I have found the ADHD business coach that I've created to be so helpful for all of this. And what I want to do in this series of videos is show you how easy it is to set these up, these custom AI experts, and then have that AI business coach for you that you build it once and you have it forever. In the next video, what we're going to talk about is what AI tool should you use when you're building your AI business coach. And then as we proceed forward, we're going to start getting into training up that AI coach. So then you can use it for brainstorming and ideation and building out that business that is going to allow you to do what you're supposed to do. And that is be an entrepreneur. All right, I'll catch you in the next video.